Well, hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to the call tonight. My name is Doug Mainers. I am Director of Member Relations and Training with Connected Investors on behalf of Ross Hamilton, our CEO. I want to welcome you to the call today. Thank you for joining us. For those who are brand new to the call, thanks for being a part of it. This is a weekly call on wholesaling topics, but it's also open to anyone that's a fix and flip or a buy and hold investor. You can find out how to find deals like a wholesaler does. In addition to that, we talk about the tools and things that you have available through Connected Investors, software, data, training, everything that you have available to help you get more deals done. So again, thanks for joining me tonight. What we're doing tonight is we're actually doing part two of our talk tonight. And again, if you missed part one, I will have the replay available soon. So that's the good news. So that would be available, and I'll make sure I get part one and part two out to everyone that attended these two sessions, so you'll have everything. But what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about the wholesaling process. You know, many times I get investors that say, wow, I need somebody to walk me through step by step, you know, how to do a wholesale deal. And what I find is that many times it's not that complicated once you have somebody kind of walk you through it. And so we developed this training because of the tens of thousands, actually hundreds of thousands of members of the Connected Investors portal, our network of real estate investors. I can't individually talk to each one. But the beauty of it is we can do this training, Ross and I. Ross, we do a lot of the boot camps, also the weekly training on Thursday night. And what it allows us to do is really mentor and train via group training and webinar training. And you know, people pay tens of thousands of dollars, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 to have a mentor. And I honestly think the way we present this is even better, because what we're able to do is we're able to walk you through this, and you can rewind it, you can fast forward it. And then if you have additional questions, you can ask them on here, you can email me. There's so many ways that you can go about, you know, getting the answers available. So I'm going to have part one and part two available in the next 2 days. It should be tomorrow. At the latest, it would be Monday, that I will get you out to everyone that's been on either of the two calls. I'll make sure that you get that. So we'll get that out soon. So again, thanks for joining me. Let's jump right in and get started. We're walking you through. Now, the other part of this, not only are you going to get the replay of parts one and part two, you're also going to get a checklist. I've developed a checklist for real estate investing and wholesaling, and we're going to pick back up tonight on that checklist and finish the second half of what we're talking about. So let's jump right in and take a look at that. So you notice here in the second part of the checklist, the next item that we want to check off the list here is we want to check off making an offer. And that includes all the due diligence period, the out clause, all of this information and contingencies. That's what we want to have in the this section is what we'll kind of walk you through. Now, the good news about that, Connected Investors has a number of items to help you with that. Let's just talk about a few of those. They've got the Pinpoint Profits education area, working with a motivated seller. What do you need to do to negotiate a purchase? That's literally right there in the education area. And while I'm on that subject, you also have the funded area, the roadmap to unlimited funding. So let's talk about these two items real quick, and we'll come back and talk more about the contract genie in just a moment. But what I want to do is go over to the live site. And for those of you who have Pinpoint Profits, I want to show you how that you can go about accessing these prices. Now, if you don't have Pinpoint Profits, that's okay. You can still buy it, okay? That's no problem. We can get you hooked up with that. So you can just see a little bit about what it's all about tonight. But for those that have it, I know you're excited about it. In fact, we heard from a gentleman today who's had the Pinpoint Profits here for about, I want to say 60 days. He's already done one deal in 60 days, and he's got another one under contract. So really exciting what he's got working. I mean, this is a lot of people doing this part-time. You know, they have a full-time job and they do real estate on the side, and Pinpoint Profits makes it so easy because you're not making those trips down to the courthouse. So let's go over to the live site. Here's the Pinpoint Profits portal. Here's the Wilmington properties, by the way, 488 results in the Wilmington area. Look at that. But that's just for us here locally. But, we have, hundreds of thousands of properties all over the country, including Hawaii, by the way, and Alaska. But as I scroll through, I'm not going to really get into all the data and all that because I want to scroll down past the data to show you the education area. But before I do that, here's the Fund It button. This is the button that you want to mash to take you over to submit a deal for funding. If you're going to close a property, right? If you're going to close a property, you want to get funding, you do it right here through the Fund It portal. I use it. I have lenders. Man, we have many, many lenders, right? You submit your deal through there. The lenders contact you directly. I use it. I love it because these guys have deep pockets. I can do as many deals as I want to do. And that is phenomenal. So I wanted to show you that Fund It piece because if you decide to close it and resell it, like I've done occasionally, I actually closed a property 2 weeks ago and then resold it and made a $15,000 profit just as a wholesale deal. And so, those kind of deals come along. And I just did a quick flip. I closed it myself, then I just flipped it to someone else. Made right at a little under 15 grand. I paid some closing costs and things, but still, that was a nice little profit. So the Fund It can really help you with the deep pockets they have if you want to close it and resell it. Plus, the other thing that's nice about that is I didn't have to do an assignment. I closed it. Even though I had to pay a little interest, I didn't have to do an assignment. There was enough room in it for the investor to go ahead and make some money, a lot, even more money. I just, basically wasn't a property in the area that I typically do flips. And what was cool about it is, I was able to just flip it over to them and then move on. So, and I actually put 2 properties under contract that recently that I'm actually doing fix and flips, which is mostly what I do, but occasionally I still wholesale do. So anyway, you get the idea. But here's what I want to get to is basically down here to the education area, okay? And what you're going to notice here, there's a training right here. It's called Analyze and Fund the Deal. Analyze and Fund the Deal. This is part of the due diligence part of the real estate investing process. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to download the PDF. And let's take a look at that real quick. It's telling us here, know your market, determine your deals. It's got cheat sheets for running the numbers. And it's got the numbers and funding. Now, by the way, not only do you have this cheat sheet, you also have the fast formula application, which allows you to run the numbers. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So you got to know your market. So as I scroll through this, I just want to show you a couple things here about the numbers. It literally walks you through. Here's some of the solid idea. The value of the property, the ARV, the value of the property after repairs, the cost of repairs, holding costs. And so all these different due diligence pieces, right? Here's some tips here, the cheat sheets, right? You get the idea there. And then, as you go through, here's some things to consider when you're doing your due diligence. The gotcha checklist. Look at this. Man, is this valuable? The unseen, the gotchas. Here's some things that can help you with the gotchas, right? The visible, testing auto mechanics, right? The visible system. Newbies, in terms of you get into flipping houses, right? Now, as a wholesaler, you don't have to worry about this so much, but it's good to have knowledge of it. So if a potential buyer asks you about it, you can tell them, hey, I've already had the property checked out. Does it appear to be any structural damage? All the systems are working. So you got to know about it, even if you're not fixing to flip it, even if you're strictly just wholesaling. So as I scroll on through this, you see here the infrastructure, the water and sewer, the land, the legal side of it. Again, if you're a wholesaler, you don't have to worry so much about this, but there might be some hidden costs that come up. You might have to make sure you're familiar with. But guys, the key is just understanding. So this walks you through. If you're a new wholesaler, here, look at this for new wholesalers. Wow, and we just give it to you right here. Here's what you got to look out for. So this is very, very practical advice for you if you're a house flipper, et cetera, et cetera. So this training is absolutely phenomenal. So I wanted to show you that. In addition to that, there is another training here. I'm going to click on the show more button right here, the show more trainings. So I click on that, and now you've got other training here. We've talked about some of these trainings before, but one of them that I mentioned is the Fund It, right? You get funded. This is a cool app. Connect the dots training to ensure you have more money than you can spend, right? And that's true. You know, it's funny how that works, but needless to say, as a wholesaler, you don't need so much of the funding, but unless you're going to close it. But there is some tips and tricks and things in there you can learn about how to get funding. You have the CIX portal. But what if you need a down payment? Well, here's some ways to maybe get that. So there's a lot of things we have working here for you, a lot of cool stuff. One thing while I'm in here right quick, I'll show you another training here is right in the middle of the page to flip it quick. This is your wholesale training to make quick cash. So if you need a refresher on your wholesaling, there it is right there. Flip it quick. Go in and check that training out. That's pretty cool. So guys, this is where with your due diligence, right here in the Pinpoint Profits area, when you scroll down past the data, you get right into all the different modules. There they are. And you can jump in there and get going. So it's just that easy. Very, very, very easy. So let's go back over to the checklist. We've talked about the working with the motivated seller. We've talked about the funded part. Let's talk about these other two pieces. You got the contract genie and you've got the pro support. So when it comes to making offers, the contract genie has you covered. It's got everything you need in there, the business, corporate forms, contracts, everything. And then you got the pro support app, which includes the Ask a Pro group, where you can post questions to be answered by an experienced investor. So these two pieces are another thing right in the Pinpoint Profits area. You're going to see those, and it's going to allow you to get in there and get going on that. So let's go back over to Pinpoint Profits, and let's go down again. We're going to scroll down the page here on the top of the page on Pinpoint Profits. We'll scroll right on down, and you're going to see down here, there's your, by the way, there's your boot camps. I think I've showed you those before. You can click right on those and watch them. Here's all some where you can take notes and things, but in your apps right here. And the Contract Genie is the app with the pencil and the writing on it, right? So is that pretty cool right there? So what you're able to do is all you have to do is click right on that app and it opens it right up for you. There it is. And then you generally want to click Create Contract. That's where you're going to want to click right there where it says Create Contract. You click Create Contract. There it is. And then it's going to come up and give you some different sections. So you see some of the things I've been working on there. But if you're looking at real estate contracts, you're going to be right in here. Now, one thing I will tell you, there's an assignment contract, but it's in the business area. Here is where you want to go for your assignment contract, because you assign all kind of contracts other than just business contracts. So there's your assignment contract right there in the business. I'll click in there and show you in a second. But your real estate contracts, your offer to purchase, are in the real estate section. So you want to click on real estate, and then you click right here where it says more, and it's going to open up all the contracts. I'm just going to go ahead and hit more. And now you have all the contracts, leasing and real estate forms. So as you scroll down the page here, and remember, these are all state specific. When you select the contract, then you select what state it's for. So it's all designed to be legal in all 50 states. You know, they're individual contracts. But this is the contract most investors use, is the offer to purchase real estate right there. And so what I would do in this situation, I would go ahead and just click on that offer to purchase. And you notice what's going to happen is the first thing it's going to ask you to do right here is where is the property located, and you select the location. It's just that easy. And then it walks you through literally step by step. You don't have to figure it all out. It even has built-in contingencies. So I'm just going to go through and just show you real quick. You put in the information. I'm skipping through this because it walks you the seller to buyer info and all descriptions of the property and so forth, and how the earnest money, if you're going to offer earnest money, and the escrow and how that all works in the date. And then it's going to have a section here about closing and protection and possession, I should say. And here is your contingencies, your conditions or contingencies. And so you can literally come in and select what contingencies you want. That a completed satisfactory home inspection by such and such a date. That could be a contingency. Financing contingency, getting a new loan. Generally, I do an other, and I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice, but I check other, and I like to use this statement right here. The buyer desires a due diligence period ending 6/11/2008, whatever the date is, that the buyer may terminate the contract for any reason or no reason. Right? And so you can have some type of statement like that that gives you a due diligence period if you're a wholesaler that gives you 2 to 3 to 4 weeks to do your due diligence. You can also be shopping that contract around, having investors come out and look at the property, whatever the case may be. But that's where you put in that contingency. You don't have to use a due diligence period. You can use any of these contingencies, right? Satisfactory home inspection by such and such a date. Put it 3 weeks out. That gives you 3 weeks to shop it. And if you have a home inspection, you decide, hey, I had a home inspection done. I don't want the property. You can get out of the property, right? So I did want to show you that conditions piece of the offer to purchase, and then you just continue to walk through it. Very, very easy to do that, right? Now let's talk about the assignment contract. So you need 2 contracts. You need an offer to purchase, and then you need an assignment contract. 2 different contracts. So there's the offer to purchase. Now the assignment contract is right here in the business area. So I'm going to click on business, and I'm going to click on more. That's going to pull up all of the contracts in the business area. I simply scroll down. By the way, if you ever wondered about developing a partnership agreement, here's one right here. You ever want to do a partnership, that kind of walks you through that. Somebody was asking about the assignment in the offer to purchase. The way you would do that is you would just make sure there was something in the contract that says it's assignable. So you could put for the seller information, for you as the buyer, from the buyer, you could put your name or assigned if you wanted to do that. But as long as the contract says it can be assigned, that's all that matters. And there is a stipulation, I think, in that contract. We'll jump back over there and look at it in a minute, but let me show you where the assignment contract is. As I scroll down here, look at the LLC document. When you form your own LLC, it's got all the operating agreements and all that stuff, how to incorporate, your articles of organization, so forth. But as you scroll down here, you're going to see it says modifying a business agreement. You're going to see the word assignment right there. There's your assignment contract you can use. And so all you're going to do on that is you're simply going to click right on the assignment contract, and it's going to pull that up. Here it is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, my internet's a little bit variable here sometimes, so I apologize for the delay. Let me make sure I plug in my hotspot here to make sure we keep the party going here. So give me just 1 second. That's my internet is dragging a little. There we go. There we go. Now we're going. I'm just getting rid of, I'm plugging in my hotspot, letting it load. But what you're going to see with the assignment contract, here it is right here, okay, is it asks you the type of assignment. Well, what type of assignment is it? It's a contract assignment. By the way, you can assign personal property, income, and other things that you can assign, but you're assigning a contract, and it actually walks you through step by step how to assign that contract. Right here it is. And you can see, contract. And you could say, and it literally walks you through the assignment fee, how much you're going to charge in your fee, all that kind of stuff, right? So what the assignment contract does, it allows you as a wholesaler to take your offer to purchase that you have and assign it to a buyer and collect an assignment fee. So you put it under a property under contract with an offer to purchase with the seller. You're the buyer, they're the seller. You put it under contract for whatever price. Maybe you put it under contract for $100,000. And then you go out and you shop the contract around. You shop the property out there because you decide you're not going to buy it. So you want to assign the contract. So you assign it to a buyer, and then they pay $105,000. So you're getting $5,000 for assigning the contract. That's what the assignment contract does. You're assigning your original offer to purchase to the buyer. You're assigning your rights, because you control that property at that price. You're assigning your rights to that property over to that investor. So they can go ahead and, for a fee, and they pay you a fee, and then that buyer takes that offer to purchase, and they close the property, and they fix or flip it. You're out, right? You're done. You're not going to fix or flip. You just want to wholesale and make the quick bucks, right? That's what that offer to purchasing contract does, okay? So somebody's asking a question about how put her under contract. Somebody was wondering about doing your due diligence and then making the offer. You can do some of your due diligence first. You certainly want to know you know, the ARV, you might want to get the repair. It just depends on how much competition there is in your area. What I usually do is put it under contract at what I think is the right price, then do my due diligence. If I'm, you know, because I've got an out. If it needs too much due diligence, I go back and renegotiate the purchase price. So you can do it either way. You can do your due diligence first, then put an offer in, or you can get the offer in, get it locked down, do your due diligence. You can always go back and renegotiate the sell price. Say, hey, look, I had a repair estimate come in. Man, there's way more repairs here than we thought. I can't buy it for 100. I got to buy it for 95 or 90. And you can renegotiate that offer to purchase and then assign it. So hopefully that helps, you know, so you kind of get the idea there. So, you know, so anytime you're working with a seller, if you go back to them with hey, here's the price. They may say, well, no, I'm not going to do it for less than 100. That's all I'm going to do. That's fine. You can either try to go ahead and go and see if you can assign it to somebody for 105. If you can't, you just bow out of the contract. You terminate the contract. So now you don't always, every deal, I've had plenty of wholesale deals. I just didn't get the wholesale. It just didn't work out. And that's okay. Sometimes the seller's just not willing to negotiate, and it's not a big deal. So there's your assignment contract. That's what you're going to assign. Now, let me just go over really quick. I know there's a question about the offer to purchase. We were talking about that. And we wanted to look at if there was a statement in the offer to purchase that says it may be assigned. And here it is, number 5, additional clauses. The contract may be assigned without written permission of all parties, and if assigned, this contract shall be binding on the assignee. So here's your additional clauses saying that the contract can be assigned. You want to make sure you have something in your contract that says that. Let me see if that is something that was, let me just walk through one more time if you'll be patient with me here, sorry. And I just want to see if that's already on the contract or if that needs to be added. So I'm just going through and skipping steps so I can get to that place where it talks about it being assignable, and just see if that's done on its own or not. So give me one more second here and I'll know that. And then I don't remember off the top of my head if they can be assigned, or do we need to add that? You need to add that as a clause. See how it walks you through this so easy? Okay, yeah, right here. So here's where you would want to add in that clause saying the contract is assignable. So for additional clauses, I've got yes, and then you want to use some type of language like this. Again, I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice. But you want to have something in your contract that says this contract may be assigned without the written consent of all parties. And if assigned, then this contract should be binding on the assignee. So whoever you assign it to, that means they're bound by it. Then they can take it and close it. And you don't have to go back and get the seller's permission to assign it. That's what that means. You can assign that contract, that offer to purchase, using a separate assignment contract without written consent of all parties. You don't need their written consent to do that. That's what that's saying. So again, you might want to do that. Somebody's saying they can't see anything. Oh man, what in the world happened? You're right. We lost signal. Well, that's just great. I hate it when that happens. So we're going to have to refresh this somehow. Why is that doing that? I think I just lost internet for a moment and it just kind of caused an issue here. Sharing on. Ah, there we go. Okay, I got you back. Sorry about that. I don't know how long y'all missed that. But basically, I'm just showing you right here about the assignment clause. I'm in the offer to purchase in the contract genie. And it basically says this contract may be assigned without the written consent of all parties. And if assigned, then this contract shall be binding on the assignee. So there is the section of the offer to purchase in the contract genie that has additional clauses. It'll prompt you to say, do you want any additional terms? And this is the kind of thing right here that you want to say to make sure that contract is assignable. Okay. And again, I'll have a copy of this. You know, if you can't, jot that down, but you can check, again, I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice, but this is kind of the kind of language that most attorneys say. So basically, just to recoup that for a second, basically I'm in the offer to purchase, okay, in the contract genie. Here we are right here. See, we're in the offer to purchase, and then I'm just walking through step by step. I'm just skipping steps, but there is a section in the offer to purchase in the contract genie. Here it is right here that says additional clauses. See here? We're in the offer to purchase contract. It says additional clauses. And that's where you're going to add the clause about it being assignable. So hopefully that helps. You understand it's not a copy, it's not a complicated concept. Again, there is, this contract may be assigned without the written consent of all parties, and if assigned, then the contract shall be binding on the assignee. If you want to copy that down and feel like that's something you want to use, I cannot speak to the legality of that comment, so I want to be very careful here that this is what a lot of investors use. You're welcome to it, but if anytime you start adding stuff to a contract yourself, you just want to check with the legalities of that. But that's normally going to cover you in that situation. But you can always run it by an attorney if you're worried, okay? But that language, if the seller's agreeing to it and the buyer, then typically it's a non-issue. But I just want to say you want to have some language in that contract that says it is assignable. Because I know I went kind of long on that, but that's an important piece of what we're talking about tonight, okay? And then lastly, real quick, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the Ask a Pro area. And at the very bottom of the Pinpoint Profits area, there is the Ask a Pro group, and where you can ask any real estate investing questions. It's like having your own kind of personal mentors right there to help you. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that, right? So again, I'm in Pinpoint Profits. I'm scrolling down past the data, and I'm going to the very bottom of the page below the apps. You'll see the Ask a Pro real estate right here. And this is where you would type in your question right here. You'll type it in, and then you'll submit it, and then you'll get responses from experienced investors. It's called the Ask a Pro group, right? If you're a member of Connected Investors, as far as a Pinpoint Profits member, you get access to that group, and they give very nice feedback. I answer a lot of these posts as well, but that's just available for those of you who need assistance. They can do that. All right, so let's go ahead. That is the due diligence portion. We're going to move up the checklist now to the final couple of pieces here. We'll do the marketplace next, and I'm running a little bit long. I may have to do a part 3. Let me see if I can just get through this real quick. Let me look. Yeah, I think I'll be fine because a lot of this I've already talked about. So now you're ready to market the property. You want to sell your property to an investor. Market the property right here. And so what you're going to do is you want to put it in the marketplace. Now, I've already talked about the pro support. I've already showed you where the Pinpoint Profits education area, they have a market it training where you can market your property. And in that Pinpoint Profits education, they have a flip it retail training, the ultimate guide to flipping your property retail, right? And getting those maximum dollars, the cashing in, right? And so what I'll focus on, because you know where to find this stuff in Pinpoint Profits, I want to focus on the marketplace for a second. And let's go ahead. I want to jump over to the live site and just show you real quick in the marketplace where you need to go there. So you kind of understand, what we're talking about. So we're if you're in the Pinpoint Profits area, you'll see the marketplace button. Generally speaking, anytime you're in Connected Investors, you'll see that marketplace button right here beside that little CI button. That's your marketplace, and you can list your properties for sale in there. Give you an example. A local investor here in the area listed a property in the marketplace about 2 weeks ago, and guess who has it under contract right now? Me. Okay. So yeah, because remember, when you list a property in Connected Investors, we get notifications right here in the notification, and we get emails. I got notified about that property. I went in, looked at the property. It looked good. I messaged the seller, said, hey, I'm interested in the property. We ended up talking on the phone. I negotiated with that seller, and I put the property under contract. I think I'm going to fix and flip that one, but I found it in the Connected Investor marketplace. So you want to list your property in the marketplace when you are ready to sell it. And it's so easy to do. Watch how easy this is. You click Marketplace, and you simply click List Property. See right there, List Property. The Marketplace, List Property, and you simply start filling out the form. Once you fill out this initial sheet form, then it opens up a longer form. You can be as detailed as you want, add pictures, do all kinds of stuff, and then when you hit submit, it loads it in the marketplace, and then we blast it out to all the Connected Investor members that follow that area. They get a notification that property was just listed. That's what happened with me. I got a notification about that property. And so that's what you want to do there. It's so easy to do. By the way, if you ever get hung up on anything tech support related, down here in the lower right-hand corner, right down in here, there is a chat button. During the day, it says chat, and in the evenings, it'll say help. That's your tech support. Guys, that's tech support. You need to use them. That's what they're there for. A lot of times I'll get members calling me up on tech issues, and they can't get a hold of me because I'm busy. I'm on the phone. I'm doing other things. And it might be hours before I can get back to them. And if they click that chat button, it took about 10 seconds, they would have had their answer. So use the chat button. That is so helpful. Or if it says help, use the help button. That's your tech support. And they can help you. Like if you're trying to list a property, you're not sure what to do, or you had a question about it. You know, of course, you're always welcome to reach out to me, but I'm the real estate investing kind of guy. I know a lot about tech, but these guys are experts. They can actually look and see where you are on the site and walk you through stuff. So use that chat feature. But guys, that's how easy it is to list a property. We blast it out to our members, and you are able to go ahead and they can come by and make you an offer right there on the platform when you list your property. So when you list it, it goes into our marketplace. And when people, you know, they click in there into our marketplace, like for instance, there's a couple different properties right here. When they go to your property page, and notice right here on the property page, they can go ahead and make you an offer, or they can message you, either one. And so that's kind of cool. And you can go ahead and sell your property right on the Connected Investor Marketplace. So easy. Okay, so I love that about Connected Investors. All right, so we got through the marketplace. The buyer connects with you directly, okay? And then you can, you basically just have it priced whatever amount above the asking price. So if you got under contract for $100,000, you want to make $5,000, you list in Connected Investors as the contract holder for $105. They come in, they say, yeah, I'm interested. I want the property for, you can list it for $110 and just negotiate down to $105 or whatever the case may be. You just tell them, hey, I want to sign the contract over to you. I need a $5,000 assignment fee. And if it's a good deal, they'll pay it. I know I'm paying the assignment fee. I don't care. You know, it's worth it to me because I love the property. So that's the marketing. And the last two things we'll talk about, and we'll be done. When you sell to an investor, you're signing the contract over right here and depositing a check, obviously. But there is a education section called Protected. That's in the Pinpoint Profits Education area. There's also a Flip It Quick training. I mentioned that. That's in the education area. I've already talked about the Contract Genie that has the assignment contract. And I've already talked about the Fund It button. So all these tools, guys, are you starting to realize that you have a one-stop shop for everything you need to run your real estate investing business? We have it. We provide it. Everything you need is here. You literally just have to follow the checklist. It's that simple. So now I've done a step-by-step walkthrough on the Connected Investor platform. It's an entire checklist that walks you through step-by-step how to do a deal right here. And so everybody's going to get a copy of the checklist. Everybody's going to copy of part 1 and part 2 of the training. And man, you're going to be set. You're going to be excited because you're going to be able to get more deals done because now you can know what you're doing step by step. If you need help, you certainly can reach out to us. So any other questions? I know I appreciate the questions that those members asked. I try to answer them along the way. Does anyone else have a quick question before we end that I can assist you with? Feel free to put it right in the question box right now. I would appreciate it. And I'll be glad to answer it. Anything else? If somebody is putting their hand up, what about a question? Let's see here. Any other questions? Anything else? I'll give you another 30 seconds here. But guys, again, get out there, start making some offers. You know, get out there in front of people, start making offers, start putting properties under contract, and then start assigning them, you know. And again, you may not be able to sign every contract. Sometimes it just don't work out. You know, that's true. Somebody texted about having a domain name before they start. Not necessarily. Domain names are for your website. I know a lot of wholesalers who don't even have websites, okay? It's good to have them, but you don't have to have them. So, no, I would say don't wait to get a domain name. Go ahead and start reaching out to sellers. Start contacting people on the Pinpoint Profits data and go from there. So people are asking about a replay. I'll have these webinars published here in the next, either tomorrow or Monday, and I'm going to make sure everybody gets a copy of those, and I'm going to make sure everybody gets a copy of the checklist. Somebody else is asking about attorneys. No, unfortunately, we don't have attorneys that we refer right now. But what I'd recommend to you is talk to some of the other investors in the area and find out who they use for their closings. They'll certainly volunteer that. I don't think that's an issue. That's always good. A couple people asking about getting Pinpoint Profits. Let me give you my email address for those who are interested in Pinpoint Profits. Shoot me a private email, and I'll be happy to tell you how you can get that, okay? So, yeah, just shoot me an email. I'll give you the details on that, on how to get the Pinpoint Profits. Again, because it's not really a sales webinar, but I'm certainly willing to help you if you like Pinpoint Profits and need it, which I would highly recommend to anybody that is interested in getting that Pinpoint Profits data. Is absolutely, it'll make a huge difference in your business. So definitely will help you on that. Any other questions? Anything else I can help you with? Please let me know. Anything else? I got a couple people asking me about the software and getting on board on that. I can certainly help you with that. Let's see what else I had questions regarding that. A couple people on anything else? Okay. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on behalf of Ross Hamilton. My name is Doug Majors. Thank you for the compliments, by the way. I know a couple people had thanked me. And again, hey, it's my pleasure. I enjoy what I do, helping real estate investors succeed and take advantage of the software. So I love that. And again, thank you for joining me. And again, have a fantastic rest of the evening. I'll look forward to seeing you out there on the platform and help you out any way I can. Please feel free to shoot me an email. Again, if you've got any questions, my email is on the screen. I'll do my best. It'll be on the screen in a second. Here it is. And I'll be glad to help you any way I can. If you email me once that I don't get right back to you, shoot me another email. Sometimes it'll get buried in emails. I apologize for that, but I will be glad to help you with that. So that's no problem. Cash buyers, that's kind of the beauty of our platform is we have those cash buyers right in the marketplace that they can come out and make you an offer. Well, hey, have a fantastic rest of the night, and we'll see you next time on the Wholesale Mastery Training. Bye-bye now.